welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, big welcome to you. Or if you've been here a while, also big welcome to you. Because yeah, I appreciate all of you. But anyways, today I am going to share some of my favorite things. My reason for doing this is, well, homeschool things. My reason for doing this is I have an affiliate link for Masterbooks now, and I would like to just share with you some of my favorite things from there. In case you want to purchase them, you can use my affiliate link. All that does is it helps my family out a little bit. And also, yeah, if you don't want to use my affiliate link, you can just go to Masterbooks and start shopping. I don't care either way. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm not offended if you don't use my link. But anyways, so a few of my favorite things. I know I've been gone a while. It's just been a busy summer, but I'm not making any promises. Hope to be better about making videos. I know I've said that a million times. I sound like a broken record. But anyway, yeah. So without further ado, here are my favorite things. Maybe I should start with elementary, and work my way up. It's just gonna be a couple things from elementary and a couple things I use in high school. One of the things I use in high school can be used in middle school because 8th grade is the lowest grade it recommends for it. I don't really have favorite things for middle school because honestly I kind of just tend to like have my kids do a lot of stuff together, and I haven't really found a ton of middle school things. Well, I probably do have some middle school things, but anyway, I haven't really found a ton of middle school things that I've like super clicked. But yeah, so this is all going to be elementary and high school. So the first thing I am sharing is elementary geography and cultures. If you saw my previous video where I was reviewing stuff from this previous year, this is what we did. They also have, my kids loved both of them. They also had a US one where it's elementary geography, United States. And my kids loved it so much that when I asked them, what do you guys want to do for history in the 2024-2025 school year? They said that one. So, which is this one, elementary geography and cultures, because it's like the same style. It's formatted very similar. But yeah, you have 2 books that you go through in the year. And like with all Masterbook stuff, it has a schedule. If you're using it just in your own personal homeschool within your household, you can print this, put it in their binder. I do that. I like print it off so they can see what we're doing each day, and also so they can check it off, and it makes it easy to keep track of each kid's grades too, especially in high school and middle school. I like to do that because it makes it really easy to keep track of grades. But yeah, so the first book they go through is Passport to the World. My kids love how there are good illustrations in here. Well, the first page, you have all the countries that they're going to be going over and covering in this book. And then it has the history of languages, talking about the Tower of Babel, of course. And then the first country they go over is Armenia. And my kids still say thank you in Armenian because they thought it was funny. And it's Snorre Gollum. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. But my kids will still say that to people, and people are probably like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's how you say thank you in Armenian. So they really like all the pictures. And the nice thing about the way this curriculum is that, so this one is like the first half of the year. And also in the front of this, I keep forgetting to show stuff. There's a little passport that they can put stickers in as they go over each country. I tried to order extras of these, but for some reason it didn't work out. Like I kept having issues that day and just forgot about it. And so I wanted one for each of my kids, but I couldn't get it to work. And yeah, they can put a little sticker in there of the country's flag. And the thing I like about this I do feel like the 4th and 6th grade age level is appropriate. If you have a more advanced, like a super intelligent 3rd grader, they could probably do this because a lot of it is fill in the blank, but there are some things that are a little longer sometimes, not on this one, but they also have the flag for each country for them to color, and then they also have a recipe. I will confess, I am really bad about doing the recipes because I keep forgetting to look each week, and sometimes there's ingredients that I don't have on hand, so we just didn't do many of the recipes. I think when we did Germany, we did pretzel, like the hot pretzels, and that is the only thing I can remember making because I'm like, oh, I can make that. It's basically just flour, water, yeast, all that stuff. So, but yeah, I like how it has the flag for each, and it has you do like the certain basic like hello, goodbye, thank you, and peace in that language. But yeah, so it's really good. The second half of the year for that one, they do Children's Atlas of God's World. And that one, the way this one's formatted, it has an introduction to, which you go over before you start studying the countries, and it has a cool map, and it tells you like which page each country's on, I believe, or continent, and then what countries you'll be studying. So how this works is it goes over a continent first. So first you're gonna go over like North America in this book. Then it'll go through the United States for a couple days, and then for a week, I don't know. And then it'll go through Mexico. I don't remember, it's been a little while, so I think it's usually like a state or two each week. And this one has good pictures too that my kids really liked. And then they also did Canada as well, and it has like little historical sites, like some of them have pictures that go with it. So yeah, and then you don't go over every country and every continent because that would take more than just half a school year to do that. But yeah, really good. I don't know if I said this already, but my kids definitely wanted to do that one this year after doing the American one the previous year. And then the other thing I really like, I think it's very important, I don't know if my kids liked it so much, but is elementary apologetics. I think it's really important for kids to understand faith, like our faith, even if they haven't, become Christians yet. It's really important for them to understand why we believe what we believe. And so I think starting that at a young age is super important. They do recommend 4th through 6th grade on this, which I think is totally reasonable because what I was thinking of on the previous one, the other one's fill in the blanks mostly, so it's pretty easy. You could probably have a 3rd grader do this one, but I do think 4th and 6th grader is 4th through 6th is probably a good age for this one, even though the books are really simple, which I'll show you in a minute. Because there are they have to write out like an entire verse, and you might have some kids that are like, I don't want to, or yeah, so this one can have some answers that are a little more lengthy, but I still think an advanced 3rd grader could probably do it pretty easily. And another suggestion I have for this is if you have I think if you wanted to do this for family worship, it would work super great just to do these books, not to do the worksheets, but these books you could do easily as family worship, and I will show you why I think that is a good option. Like I said, they're kind of simple books, so I feel like even little kids can pick up on it, and it's short enough for a younger child to sit through, because little kids get a little squirmy, and so short things for family worship if you have little ones still. So the reason I like this is it has a little question that was submitted by a kid. This one was submitted by a kid who was like 10, and then it has an answer to the question, and then it has scripture reference. So you could seriously just do the question and answer, scripture references, and then pray together as a family. and you're done with your family worship for the day. And it comes with 8 books, and each book covers something different. So I can show you what I mean by that. So book 1, if you look at the bottom of this, it says 22 questions for creation and the fall. And then you have book 2, which is same amount of questions, and all of these I believe are 22 questions. And it's dinosaurs and the flood of Noah. And then book 3, you have questions on God and the Bible. And then book 4 is sin, salvation, and Christian life. And then book 5 is space and astronomy. Not astrology, astronomy. 2 different things. Sometimes when I was a kid, I used to get them confused. I'm like, they sound the same. Well, they're very similar words, but anyway, astronomy. But, and then this one, book 6 is on Babel and the Ice Age. Book number 7 is on evolution in millions of years. I think this one super, all of them are super important, but this one, like from an apologetic standpoint, good to have, because, you know, evolution is out there, and I think it's good for kids to be informed on what it is so that they know how to, you know, stand firm on their own views. But anyway, and then book 8, the last one, is on Satan and angels. And so, yeah, highly recommend this for family worship. If you don't want to do the curriculum, you could just buy these books. Or you could buy the curriculum and just do the books for a couple years before you think, if you think your kids aren't quite ready for it. Because, yeah, it probably will take a while. If you only do 1 question a day, 22 times 8, let's see, is 176, I believe. So it would take 176 days to go through all these books. If you do 1 a day, which, let's be real, life happens and you don't always get around to it. So, yeah, highly recommend those for family worship for young kids. And, of course, as a curriculum for 4th through 6th grade or 3rd through 6th grade, whatever you think, wherever you think your kids are mentally, if you think they can handle it, then yeah. And then now on to high school. So I wanted to share this. I almost didn't, but I was thinking about it last night, and my oldest chose this as an elective. I was like, what do you want to do for an elective? He's 20 now, but when he was in 11th grade, I'm like, okay, you need to do some electives. What would you like to do? And he's like, the apologetics one looks good. So that's what he got. And it gave him a huge passion for apologetics. And he ended up on a leadership team, because at the time, his youth group, they don't do it anymore. And we also switched churches over the summer. But at the time, when he was still in youth group, and our church did this, they only did it for a couple of years, but they had a youth leadership team. And one of the options that the youth leaders had, they each got to choose in the early on days of the leadership team what they were going to be in charge of. And he and one other person chose apologetic spotlights. So what he did was he did like a 5-minute, any topic related to apologetics he could do. So having that year, having this curriculum the year that he was doing that was so helpful for him. And he learned a lot, and he got like huge passion for apologetics. I think it's still there too. Like, I think he still loves apologetics. He went to an apologetics conference that year, and then he's also gotten some more apologetics books. I don't know if he's finished them or not, because now he has a full-time job and he doesn't read as much now that he's not in school. But yeah, so he got a huge passion for apologetics through reading this. And yeah, I just highly recommend it if you have a kid that likes to learn what they believe and why they believe it more in depth. So, and it's mostly just like the elementary apologetics, it's Answers in Genesis books, because it's Ken Ham. And it actually says Master Books is the publisher on these, but it's still Ken Ham. And there's co-authors on some of these as well. Well, it says general editor, so I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, highly recommend. Yeah. And then the one thing, this last one is one that I require my high schoolers to take. My oldest really ended up liking it. My daughter, I don't know if she really liked it. I don't think she really liked school in general. You know, you're always going to have those kids that don't like school. But yeah, my son going into 11th grade this year is going to be taking this. This is the one that I said is recommended for 8th through 10th. But like I said, I'm having my 11th grader take it this year because I kind of forgot to have him do it last year. And also, it's totally fine if it's a year later. It's an elective, so no big deal. But like I said, 8th to 10th. Introduction to Logic. Why do I recommend this? Because I think it's very important for people to be able to recognize, oh, that's a fallacy, and it's this kind of fallacy, and that's a bad argument because it's a fallacy. So I think it's very important, and it helps them hopefully be better with making their own points when someone decides to like have a little debate, hopefully a friendly debate. But yeah, so hopefully it helps them to understand arguments and what kind of fallacies that people are prone to. And the thing I like about this, again, it's got the nice little handy dandy schedule in it. It says it takes 30 to 45 minutes a day. It depends on the person, how fast a reader they are, but it's got like your little schedule. Again, I print this out, put it in the binder in the section for apologetics. And then I can keep, not apologetics, logic. Apologetics are on the brain because that was the last two things. But yeah, just put it in, like, I put dividers in their binders for each of their subjects. And this goes under the logic one. But yeah, so it's pretty nice. I feel like my oldest learned a lot. There's chapter reviews where they have to say, what is logic? What does logic have to do with God? And then it has like a couple fill in the blank ones. And so yeah, it's a little more thought into it, worksheet wise. Oh, you can tell this has been used a bit. Something got spilled on it, probably coffee. But anyway, and the other thing that's nice is each week they have key terms and they have them review their key terms. Because, you know, it's important to memorize this stuff if you want it to really sink in. I forgot to do this with my oldest and my daughter after my first daughter because, yeah, I just forgot. And so I got some 3x5 cards for my son this year who's taking this. And he will be making little flashcards of all his key terms so that he can flip through them all year long and have them memorized. So basically, an example of some key terms from chapter, I'll go with this one. Chapter 6, I believe, it's like a deductive argument is an argument in which the conclusion is certainly true if the premises are. And then an inductive argument is an argument in which the conclusion is likely to be true if the premises are. And then a fallacy is a common error in reasoning. So yeah, it's just, like I said, I just feel like this is really important, especially in this day and age, especially if they go on to college, you're probably going to run across people that want to debate them. So it's good to be able to have that solid debate foundation in life, I believe, especially in a world where people like to be illogical. So anyway, so those are my favorite things that I could pull off the shelf that I could think of that jumped out at me as favorites anyway, and that were things that my kids liked. But yeah, so hopefully that maybe inspires some of you to maybe check some of these things out. If not, that's okay. I won't be offended. But like I said earlier in the video, I will have my affiliate link down in the description. If you want to use it, feel free to. If not, that's okay. But yeah, go check out masterbooks.com and hopefully find some inspiration for your homeschool over there. So anyway, that is going to do it for me today. I hope to see you all next time. Bye.